Welcome to Sci-Fi After Dark. Eventually, I'll be um joined with Drew. He had to get some ice, but I'm Sean. We got Mark over there, McClure there, Jorn next, and John the vampire from overseas in the final box. And as you see, we've got a couple new um, things. One of the things this month is Pride Month, and our Klingon Assault group published our little uh, symbol in the corner to show how much we support Pride. So just saying that. And I hear that somebody's moving in a week or two.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now would be the time, McClure.
Okay. As of very soon, within the next couple months, I will be my ship and my house will be moving to uh near the Captain Sean in Winter Haven to the invading the Winter Haven Palm Garden,
Yep.
and
Which is just a couple blocks from Drew.
yep, so I
And
will have
based
more access.
and based on prior experience, I'll never find it because I have trouble finding Drew's house.
Yeah, sometimes that could be fun. We are live, Drew.
Hey.
And McClure announced he's going to be moving near you.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
It is official
I'll
now,
teach him a
brother.
thing or four. I'll drag him over to my house as often as I can. I don't know if it'll make a proper Klingon out of him.
But at least we can try getting some of those picnics done.
Yes, and we'll
Yeah.
also teach him when to behave and when to be a Klingon.
Hmm. We could make him some pegs.
Somewhat.
Some pegs.
Oh, no. If we get the 3D printers working right, we'll have more than pegs. We'll make him a set of legs.
Hey, I wouldn't mind going to C3PO.
You know, with a remote control so he can sit there and walk.
So this week I've been watching Sequest. Rewatching that.
Yes, RV.
And
Which season?
yeah, I'm about halfway through the second season now.
Okay.
There's three, so
Well, the third one is kind of a half season.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in the second season, they dropped Ballard's comments at the end.
Yeah. They actually stopped Mallard's comments after the first season, and they had
Right.
different actors doing it instead.
I think they just dropped it completely.
Nope. They did it on the first one. They dropped it, and then after that, they were doing stuff at SeaWorld. They were showing the manatee rescue and stuff like that.
Which SeaWorld?
The one in Orlando.
Okay. Because there's one in San Diego, too.
Yeah, but this one was Orlando.
Yeah.
Because that's where the manatee rescue is.
Yeah, it'd be kind of tough to do it in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you imagine trying to move 1,000-pound manatee from San Diego to Florida?
It's called a car. You stick it in a car. If they can move an elephant from Africa to America. They can move a manatee across the country.
Yes, but the
Maybe we
elephant
shouldn't be
doesn't need
talking
the
about
water
Minecraft.
to survive.
Doggy, gotta be nitpicker.
Yeah, time to call in a C-130.
But I've already gone past the episode where they went ahead in time the first time. So
That was the very end of the season.
no, that was actually at the beginning of the season, believe it or not. They went ahead in time to rescue 2 kids and get them away from playing video games. The last 2 people on Earth.
Okay.
Then they do another time warp at the end of the season that starts the half season of 3.
Yeah.
But I got no control, so I don't. The DSV.
Yes, the Sequest.
Yeah.
There was
guys-
2 of them.
Did you guys hear about the Titan?
What happened with the Titan?
It was trying to visit the Titanic, and it imploded.
Right.
Oh, that.
Well,
Yeah.
they theorize that a hatch seal failed.
Well, they told them that rig was not going to be good anymore 6 months before they took it back down.
Yeah. Well, the guy was looking at the money aspect, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
That gets more people killed than anything else.
And the thing is, there's a submersible company that designs undersea things for people to go down deep
Hmm.
safely.
Yeah, but they have
Newt, I think it is Newt Systems. For instance, they've got a single person suit called the Newt suit.
Yeah, the hard suit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was designed for the oil and the salvage industry.
yeah.
That's
There's
where
also the
I wrote a whole book on
The Newt suit.
undersea stuff.
the diving bell is the other one that they use for those deep dives. But that's the old technology that
Yeah, the submersible that actually went down in the Marianas Trench believe it or not, back in the 60s
the Trieste.
was kind of based on Bell technology.
Yep.
In other words, they designed it like the diving bell.
John, I know you know this answer. What did they use for buoyancy? You know it. I'm
I don't-
asking the crowd.
I don't know it.
Gasoline.
Unless you're talking about air.
No, air was part of it, but the majority was gasoline
Okay.
Yeah.
because of its properties.
I hope nobody was a smoker.
It had basically almost a triple hull.
Yeah, you got to remember
Don't
that.
care.
Now,
You got to
it
remember
basically-
that these things are sealed against.
Yeah. Yeah, the matter of fact, I think the guy that was in charge of that mission, his name was Picard. Distant relative?
And that's for the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know Mark had some information that he wanted to give out, Drew, about creator.
Yeah.
Creation
Creation.
Con.
Yeah.
Creation.
I'm just going to preface this with saying there is a reason why they weren't. They after 30 years they finally came back to Orlando.
Okay.
When they left, it was kind of under a cloud, and I have been back and forth, up and down, you name it, with these people, and they are either dumber than a box of rocks or just don't give a darn.
They just don't give a dime. They're in it for the money.
Yeah. Even after I explained that we represent,
The
groups
Lollipop
like
Kids?
101 and all that. Basically, they wanted to sell us a table for like $100 a table.
Yeah, I've seen them
And
do
quite
that.
frankly, that can go where the light of day doesn't show. I don't need to explain that any further. But I mean, if people wish to attend the event, it's only a 2-day event.
Which
If they
is
don't,
twice as long as their events were back in the 2000s.
yeah, it used to be 1-day events.
And it had one speaker and one table.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some names there. You can go to the site and see who's going to be there, but as far as I'm concerned, these people have lost touch. I know they're the same people that put the Vegas thing on, but it's like they're treating the fandom, and they're treating Orlando like it's an afterthought.
They're treating Orlando like it's a cash grab to sell autographs.
Yeah, and that's
Like most people do.
to me that's a no-go.
Well, it didn't used to be that way. Back in the 70s and 80s, they weren't selling autographs.
I mean, it was either $0 to $20. Even Shatner.
John brought this up.
But their customer service is non-existent.
Yeah, so is their reach out and talk to you.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, this is probably going to wind up on YouTube. If it does, great. I would just say it's up to the individual members of CAG if they wish to go to this event at all. My personal recommendation is don't bother. There's plenty of great events going on this year.
Well, find us some.
There's the beast, John.
Okay, well, I know that we can be in. We're already in for Spooky, and if we do good there, I will see either Gina or Petey when we're there, and see about getting us in for Halloween, because their shows are very well done. They're respected in the industry. Not bad for some folks that only started in the early 2000s on a plantation. That's Joe Mote's territory. So, I mean, the funny thing is the same weekend that we'll be at the Doubletree at SeaWorld for Spooky Empire, Anime Festival Orlando. This is just the planets lined up somehow. That this is rare. They're going to have AFO going right up the street at the Rosen. So people have a choice. It's not for lack of trying, guys.
I think we bored Sean to death.
No, I'm just tired.
He did say he was tired earlier.
Yep.
That's
I
what
did
he's
some,
been telling you he should be.
I'm trying to do some weed eating to. I don't know.
And I'm going to tell you guys, those weeds are not very tasty.
No, they don't taste like chicken.
it's not that.
No,
type
they
of-
don't.
Well, John, why don't you loan them a couple of those goats, man? You know, they'll eat anything.
Oh, where was I seeing goats again? Apparently, what is it? Little Caesars is advertising goats in their pizza.
Goat cheese?
What?
Is it goat
That's a-
cheese?
I don't know, but is
That's goat cheese.
GOAT with a period in between each one. And they said they couldn't get the goats better, but then they put stuffed crust in them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, which killed them properly, and then they were able to.
so they're using the greatest of all time, claiming that their pizza's
Yeah.
that good.
That's terminology, goat.
Oh, okay. I couldn't figure out what the hell it's good for.
And I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, Little Caesars used to be really good, and
Yeah.
they're now using.
You mean they're
Makes me
kind
sick
of
every time I
the
eat it.
same level as CC's and Tombstone and Red Baron? There you go. Four Artos. You got the cardboard is actually tastier than the pizza. That's scary.
It's the tomato sauce they use now. It's nasty.
Well, they were trying to save money.
Is
Probably
it?
saving it in the wrong places.
I hate to break it to you, Sean, but is it nasty or have your taste buds changed?
It makes me. It actually causes heartburn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, because I've eaten at the same place even throughout, and never had heartburn going to that particular Little Caesars. And all of a sudden, they changed their formula, and me and Mom both got heartburn that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your mother is getting heartburn, then that's an indictment. Because with your chemo, your
Yeah.
taste buds can change.
Yeah, I can't right now. I cannot eat potatoes. Like,
wow.
Potatoes
it
are up.
tastes nasty.
You are not Irish.
Never said I was.
I'm not Irish, but if they took potatoes out of my diet,
Yeah.
But I haven't tried sweet potatoes yet. But I had some corn on the cob today, and I could eat it without a problem. And it's like fresh vegetables like tomatoes and sweet peas and stuff like that. I've been eating on a daily basis to give me.
I hate to ask this, but if you're eating corn on the cob, are you chewing it all up?
Yes.
Because corn will go through you all the way intact.
Yeah. Yep. I know.
Anyway.
oh my!
It's the first corn I've eaten. I normally do hominy, but Mom went to a farm and got some fresh vegetables and all. So I was like, why not?
Yep.
And because of my taste bud changes, like Outback Steakhouse, yeah, they use way too much salt. And I figured out what the problem was at the hospital is they use a salt type seasoning on all their meat.
Mhm.
Ugh.
It's called
I couldn't
potassium
eat-
chloride.
Substitute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Well, they use
if I go to the hospital,
Georgia, and Tate.
well, Outback, I hate to break it to you, but Outback and Longhorn are owned by the same company. The last time I ate a Longhorn, it wasn't palatable. There was so much salt on it. It was like, why did you even bother to have meat here? It's all salt.
yeah, I ordered a hamburger and oh my Lord, I took one bite and went, nope, can't eat it.
Yeah, hospitals
Just
use
say,
three-stage salt: Re, Gurja, and Tate. All three salts mixed together.
Yeah.
all I know is every time I would taste the meat in the hospital, it gave me the same gag feeling that eating the Outback burger did.
Well,
But if I cook,
They have the same salt
like,
supply.
yeah,
I'm not recommending going to a hospital, but if you have to be in one, Seventh-day Adventist, you have an alternative there.
it's
You can
called
get
fruit.
the plant-based food, and it's almost like the replicators that they talk about. You know, they can do ham, they can do beef, they can do everything, and it's decent. You just have to be careful what you order.
Unfortunately, they now have a third party doing their food service,
Oh no.
and so I didn't know that you could make green beans taste like cardboard by pureeing them.
Yes.
Wow.
Why would you puree green beans?
Yeah. You're
Well,
not going to take it.
considering Sean's other diagnoses, they would need to do that with green beans, predominantly because of the extreme fiber.
Yeah.
Well, it was when I was really septic. They weren't allowing me to eat anything solid,
Right.
so they
Fun.
pureed. So I got baby food that tastes like garbage.
So does baby food. Which point?
Yeah, I was going to say.
The second time I was in that hospital for similar while I was doing the chemo, I went,
Uh,
can I have the fruit plate every day for every meal? So I ate fruit for 9 days straight, and I was happy because I didn't have to eat that crap.
Now you know what happens to me when I eat the food over here at Palm Garden. I have to spend my whole $130 allowance that my brother gives me just on ordering food.
Yeah, I
That's
can
how
believe
crappy
that.
the food is.
all I got to say is between hospital food and ice, I'll eat ice.
Yeah.
Ice has a better flavor and a better crunch.
It shouldn't have a better flavor.
Anything
Than
tastes better
hospital
than
food? Now,
Uh,
I will tell you, when they were making their food in the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital, yes, the plant-based stuff was amazing because I have eaten at Celebration before. When the person that took over CEO decided to outsource that thing, I mentioned the fact that we went away from the health message while I was in the hospital with that.
That's bad.
But I was in Sebring Advent Health, and my procedure on the 18th to do the scope that Drew and Mike are going to take me to. That one is at Davenport Advent Health, and then I have the following week an MRI and CT scan at Celebration, and then they'll give me the date
They're
of
just
when they're
sharing
going.
you with everybody.
Yeah, well, that's so that they can plan the surgery. And why can't we have the med beds already? Because
have
I'm
the
tired of
what?
pulling the med beds from Star Trek.
That'd be cool.
Instead of having things poked and prodded into you, it just transports the medicine into you.
Okay. They're trying to work on some sort of Star Trek medical device as the current X Prize.
Yeah.
Well, they
Now,
kind of have
I'll tell you,
X-ray already.
have you seen the new X-ray machines?
No. X Prize.
I understand that, but have you seen the new X-ray machines that they are using now in hospitals?
No.
It is literally a computer that they bring in, point at you, and take the X-ray.
It's a scanner.
Yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think they still got to use the X rays
Right.
to get the image.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like the nurses bring the computers around. They have a X-ray machine that's set up the same way, and the sonogram machine is bigger than the X-ray machine.
I was absolutely flabbergasted to find out that the MRIs, CAT scans, and all those machines were using the nuclear resonance spectrometer stuff that I was studying in college
Mm-hmm.
back in the 70s.
Yeah, I'm sure that I had enough radiation in me after those treatments that I glowed for a couple weeks.
Try doing it when they still had radon in an X-ray machine.
Well, I
think
was
he
getting
had
gamma
radon
rays
all
like
the
crazy.
time.
Yeah, the
It felt like
MRI
it in
machine
the 60s.
has everything. All I know is my body, it, my body affected me from the radiation faster than it was supposed to. Because the doctor said typically the inflammation that I got after 3 days isn't supposed to happen till week 4.
Is
So
this a good thing or a bad thing?
that was a bad thing.
Okay.
Was that his way of saying oops?
No,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it was the way of going. Unfortunately, you have ulcerative colitis, and it makes it worse.
Yay.
That was why I was septic too, because the UC caused me to have problems with the original chemo.
Ouch. Yeah.
I lost white blood cells faster than they could put them back in.
Yeah, that's not good.
My wife was back and leave.
That's a
When
Yeah.
white blood cells back and leave,
attack.
you've got an issue. Because they're they're basically your entire
Immune
defense
system.
Yep, that's your
Yep.
yep, that's your defense, that's your
Yeah.
those are your
So
soldiers.
that
That's your
that
body's
21
defense
days,
system.
the 21 days that I was in during chemo, because it was 2 times 21 days. Wait a minute, 9 plus 21. I was basically, my room door never opened unless somebody came in to check on me. They would not leave my door open because the because I was so immune
Compromise.
compromised.
Right.
They didn't want me to be subjected to anybody else.
Oh man, I should have come in coughing with makeup, looking like I was dripping and dying or something. Not that I would do so. Yeah. Bring Mike behind me dressed as the Grim Reaper, just.
You wouldn't have made it in. Unfortunately, that metal from the Grim Reaper thing would stop you.
Who said it would be metal and don't be rubber?
But like I said, you learn things that you don't know, like just like you said about the taste of things. I didn't expect French fries, basic French fries with a little bit of salt to be unpalatable.
Mm.
And so, like I said,
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, don't eat sugar stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, if I don't eat the stuff that's sugary, I'm not eating anything."
Yeah. Sounds like it shut down your taste buds, among other
Well,
things.
you need the saline
Mm-hmm.
for your synapses in your brain to function. That's what you need the salt for. But the way they do it,
Yeah, but
they're trying to get everyone on the planet to get their salt from one person's meal.
the issue is I was also on saline packets, so I didn't need the salt in the meal.
That's true. D5W.
But so on the 20th, is that
Spooky
the
Empire.
creative? That's Spooky Empire. Okay. So y'all will be going on the 20th, the Spooky Empire.
Yes.
If y'all want to talk about that, I need to AFK for a minute.
Okay. I pulled up FloridaCons.com here, and it shows the whole year all the way through Holiday Matsuri in December. A lot of
interesting because we're 6 months into the year.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the cons they're going to have are gaming cons. You know, if you're into gaming, there you go.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
AFO is anime, everything. Heck, they've even got a maid cafe there.
Star Trek Adventure, Star Trek.
I've never seen the 501st at Spooky. Ever.
Are they going to be there?
Yep. So we got
Are they going to be there this month?
And if we make a good show of it, they'll want us back. They'll want us back for Halloween weekend. I can guarantee it.
Okay. So that means you don't need me. You don't need Mike. You don't need. Mark's going to smack the bashubis out of me.
Well, let's see if my wheelchair's got enough gas.
He'll get a pain stick and kick me off the ambassadorial staff.
Yeah.
No problem. I'll bring the full set. We can have some real.
You kick me off, and you're left with Tori. Be aware.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, for meet and greets, she might be a good thing. Most people meet Tori and love her.
Yeah.
It's when they've had to interact with her for.
She would probably have a blast.
I'm not that
They have
crazy.
a lot of cosplayers that in the horror genre that they're really nice people, and I'm tickled to death about. I know most of the people that are going to be headlining at this, and they're great people.
Well, I had to go at least once.
Yeah. Well, the fun part was I actually met one of the stunt people that from the Obi-Wan series that portrayed Vader.
Cool.
Mm.
They actually had two guys doing that, two different stunt guys, because it gets so hot in that outfit. John can attest to that. What's the longest you've been in that Vader outfit, John, when you were doing it for the 501st?
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, well, they were able to I don't know if it was because they had extra lights or if it was in a studio or wherever the heck it was. They could stand it about 45 minutes, and they had to switch it out.
Of course, when I was doing Vader, I was in air conditioning.
Yeah.
That parade we did at Bartow,
Mhm.
the Vader and the C-3PO were in costume for 5 hours.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it unless they've got fans or something.
They got
that we
you
don't.
usually have fans inside your helmet.
It would
I've
be
got
helpful.
3 in mine.
Vader told me that he lost 6 pounds in that parade.
Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it.
You know, I told R2, I said, geez, I told R2, I said, you went in there a fairly stocky dude. You came out anorexic. He said, just let me get to a bar and I'll change that.
Yep, just load up on beer and bar food. You'll be fine.
I said, you really do that after something like this? He said, actually, we should do it before.
He'll really be walking mechanical.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mr. Machine.
Tell you what, the little land speeder should have had an extra battery. That's for bloody sure.
Mm.
Oh, did it die?
Oh, it died just as we pulled up where everybody was unloading.
Oh,
Ouch.
shit.
Right at the base
All
of
I
that
gotta
last
say-
hill.
All I got to say is, fuck that long ass walk down that hill after the parade was over to get in the vehicle,
Yeah.
because it was another almost quarter mile before we got in the vehicle.
Was this at Bartow?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then one person said, well, why are you so tired, Drew? What's going on? And Sean said, he just had heart surgery, you idiot. Sean was like, oh.
The Claremont Christmas parade is incredibly difficult because Claremont is incredibly hilly.
Yep.
Yeah. The problem
That's why the US
we were carrying Sean's sign.
For Syfy Party.
Carrying Sean's what?
Oh, the banner?
Sign, the banner.
The banner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you said sign or sun.
And to make it worse, you go like 10 or 15 feet and the people in front of us would stop and walk out.
Yeah, every 5 seconds they would stop and then speed up, then stop and then speed up, then stop and then speed up.
Welcome to the wonderful world of parades.
Yeah.
No, it was
It
welcome to
wasn't
the
like
idiot that was driving the fucking, driving the box truck that they were, instead of going slowly, they would stop, let everybody off, then speed up to catch up to them, then stop in front of us again.
Yay.
Instead of just going
Man.
slowly.
It was Mike and Sharon that took over with the sign, wasn't it? I just went out into the crowd and started talking to people.
I used the sign. I was half the time on the sign too.
That's why I said it was Mike and Sharon took it for half of it because you and I started going into the crowd.
Yeah.
We were giving out cards telling us what we were all about and got a lot of nibble dibbles out of that one, but no members.
There was like 5 people in the crowd that I knew. Their whole families were there. Like 5 different spots. They were sitting outside of their houses.
And I know one of them, you called me over. Hey, Drew, I want you to meet.
But
I tell you what, Bartow was fun to go to.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah,
glad
you went to us.
They're moving the venue from where we were to the property there by the library.
it literally is the baseball property field area that is beside the Civic Center.
Yeah, where BartoCon is, we started there. We went all the way out.
Yes, Drew, we were
The two
talking
blocks
about
from
their
17.
moving.
Wow.
We're talking about the new
That's
location.
kind of moving too.
Yeah.
But so from what I understand, the baseball area plus all that grassy area is going to be where they do Syfy Bartow next year.
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll see how
and
that goes.
30 by 10 is on its way.
So they're going to use the
Yeah.
grassy knoll.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Are you bringing the paintball gun?
I wasn't planning on it.
I only need one round in a full tank.
Yeah.
Hey Drew, I got a question for you. Can we bug out my ship or my chair to look like Klingon warbird?
How much do you think I do? John's the only one that can accuse me of doing nothing.
No. I didn't mean it that way. Come on now. Oh,
Tell you what.
I'm getting killed over here.
Mark can go all the way out to Tampa and turn your wheelchair into a Klingon bird of prey.
Right.
You
know what this
volunteer,
is?
but-
This is a bag of these poker chips.
Ooh.
Full of these poker chips.
Oh.
Yeah. Drew's not kidding when he says he and I don't do anything.
No. Yeah.
No, you don't do anything.
And don't go visiting. You might have to walk home because the car will be filled by the time you get back in the car.
Oh boy.
That did happen once. Sean barely fit in.
Oops.
Okay, I shut up now.
Might have been better if they packed it around you, right?
Yeah,
we,
no
went
kidding.
That was
Don't need airbags. You got all that stuff.
we went over to John's with just Mike, Sean, and myself.
Yeah.
When we left, not only was the trunk full, the seat was full, the floor in front of me was full, but Sean's lap was full.
What did we put in it?
I think we put in everything because I swear we found a kitchen sink.
I think that there was a bird of prey in there. I know that there was a bunch of awards. There was a bunch of keychains.
We had that was basically our first trip of awards, and it was a ton of them. It's not that we brought in so much, it's just their containers were so large, they took up so much space.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I'll have the chair there. You don't have to worry about it.
Have you found a way to get it gone?
Yep.
Oh,
If I said it's going to be there, it's going to be there.
is this the guy that Mike's bringing that's going to take the chair over to Mike's?
No, I tell you what. I was thinking
Mike has
about
more
you
room.
guys have enough going on. I'll hang on to the chair for now, but I'll get it. I can get it down there, and then when the event's over, I'll be able to get it out of there.
Mike is bringing a friend to this who's joining,
Great.
and he, I believe,
He's got
has
room for
offered
it.
to
He's got
take the
a truck?
chair to Mike's house.
Okay.
I believe. Let me check on it tomorrow with Mike, and we'll seal the deal.
How is the foam chair coming?
Oh, it died. It was a horrible death.
It died?
Yeah.
Um,
I collapsed onto the biggest piece of foam.
That's not good.
Oh,
Hey, you build a few prototypes before you get to a production model, okay? You find out how not to do it.
Mike and I have already documented all the materials we need to make it wood, relatively lightweight and easy to transport.
Yeah. According to my friend in the community, Sarah, if you're going to get anything from Joanne's, get it now.
Aren't they closed already?
Our Joanne's is flooded. The Joanne's in your neck of the woods.
They got bought by another company, but I got a pretty good idea which one. It's probably Michael's.
The Joanne's in your neck of the woods.
192.
About 5% left.
Yeah. Can also order online.
Oh yeah, Carol did that. Carol ordered a serger, and she paid for it and everything else. We're still waiting for it. They said it was going to take 14 days. It's been 38.
Wow.
The Joanne's in my neck of the woods doesn't exist.
I know yours died before ours did.
Yeah.
Well, no, the closest Joanne's to us was always in Winter Haven.
Oh, well, then it's dead. It died when ours did.
Yep.
Because ours is the one in Winter Haven.
Oh, boy.
So lost Big Lots and Joanne's from that thing. So there's a big-ass empty building.
In the same 3 weeks.
Yep.
I believe it. It's,
And somebody at 3D Print Orlando was telling me to go to Best Buy to get a new 3D printer.
Why?
I had to tell him that Best Buy is as far away from us as you guys are from us.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no. Posner Park. Isn't there a Best Buy there?
Yes.
I don't know where Best Buy there.
Posner Park has a Best Buy.
I don't even know where Posner Park is.
27 and
the corner of I-4 and 27.
Boy, I wish I knew that. No.
There's a giant mall there.
There's still a Best Buy on Osceola Parkway over in Kissimmee. But
but that's still further. If John was going to go to Best Buy, his best bet to Best Buy would be take 27.
Yep.
Hit Best Buy and then swing by here. Because then he's less than 16 minutes away.
Yeah.
Right.
Just let me know if I'm not in a doctor's office.
I think I misspoke. The Joanne's was over by the Best Buy that we went to. So I guess it wasn't winter something. We had too many winters down here.
Winter Garden?
Could be.
Winter Garden.
That's
Winter Garden or Winter Haven. Those are the only ones I know of.
It's
down by the comic shop.
Yeah.
Or
basically from your house, John.
What?
From your house, you would get on 27 going south, and right after I-4, you take a left.
Okay.
And Best Buy is right there.
Yeah.
That's a long ways away.
No kidding.
But if you were headed this way, John.
Yes. You're trying to get me to go to your house again.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, because every time you do, just like me going to your house, we leave with a bucket load. I'm just saying, you're going to pass it if you come by 27.
Yeah.
Got a question for you, Drew.
I got an answer as long as it's not a proposal.
Okay. How about is there? I don't know if you've even started or thinking about it, or the Agonizer booth.
What, bringing it?
Yeah.
The Agonizer booth is finished, and what am I going to put it in? Mike's car?
Well, you said, does his friend have a truck or something, or what?
I have no idea.
You're saying something about picking up
I
the chair.
will not know until tomorrow if he has a truck or a very large SUV or a van.
Yeah. Well, now Michelle's fixing to Dodge up and running again.
Okay. Anyway,
So
I'm just saying
I can get the chair down there and back. So it's
that's a possibility. I'm just making sure that we can keep that on the list.
Yeah.
Because we're
Now
going to have a lot going on at one time.
we'll have a Humanities 101 stuff out there at the booth, right?
Yeah, right there. Oh, look, and there's one that says K.
Would we be like taking donations for them or just giving out the information?
I've got to bring one of these donation containers, but yes.
Okay. Super.
Hi there, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
I have
anytime.
Do what?
I have to say, the zipper bracelets that we give away. I have been taking them with me and giving them to people, and especially like at the radiation clinic. Want to see people happy as can be when you're talking about autism, and everybody there has somebody that has an autistic child or parent. So it was a quick in. I even gave them the communication tool sticker so that the nurses could have that on their clipboard when they're actually helping a client that's in distress. So
Be right back, guys.
that particular place actually has stuff from Humanities 101 with the staff's families too, which was pretty cool. I do have a woodpecker that was given to me because one of the previous people that got radiation there, he brought a bunch of these woodpeckers. They're plastic, and can you see it?
Nope.
Hold on. Basically, they're little woodpeckers, and he makes one for every patient that finishes their radiation. It's hard to see. But they have one on one of the trees. Let's see.
So that's not a woodpecker that dips its beak in water, is it?
No. It's a woodpecker that pecks the wood.
Yeah. But they used to make a woodpecker that would tip its beak into water and come back out.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like that, Drew.
The bobbing head one.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah. But what else do we have to talk about? Anybody have anything else? John? Or Vampire?
Nothing at the moment.
Y'all ain't doing any cons over there?
Yeah, we just had one last week. Last week. Star Fury, Stargate Stars.
Cool.
RDA, Nicola de Burr.
Well, I
Company
have to make
November.
my exit. I'll see you folks later.
Okay.
Be safe. Sleep well.
November, we've got October or November, we've got the Walk One convention with all Star Trek stars.
Yep.
It was a gift from Sean.
It's £200 a ticket, but they get
Huh?
for that price. It gets you one autograph, one of the stars, and supposed to be coming out. He's supposed to be Jonathan Frakes, but if he turns up, be a shock.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there's not much. We had a summit on a fortnight ago. Didn't win anything.
You know our friends with from Men in Black from Miami. They're over in Europe right now touring.
Yeah, they're in Germany.
Yep. I think this is the third country that they've gone through. Germany was the third.
Oh, I keep in touch with them.
Yep. So
That first no, the second time Tori was a Klingon on stage for Miss Bartow. They were the ones leading the chant for Tori to win. And when she didn't, they got rather twisted about it.
yeah. There's some good people.
Yeah, but then it turned out that it was people from the museum that their opinion was it has to be artistic.
Excuse me?
It's a fan-based thing.
Con. How the hell is Penguin artistic?
He can draw.
My question was more specific. What's more artistic than somebody with Down syndrome speaking in Klingon and doing Macbeth?
Yeah.
Their response was, "Oh, is that what she was saying? We couldn't tell."
Well, do you ever watch Big Bang Theory?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They speak Klingon.
Mm-hmm.
They don't speak it well, but they speak it.
And just think they have coaches.
Yeah. And they're coached by the Klingon Language Institute.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh-oh, here's trouble. We got to behave now. Radio man is here.
Oh,
right off to his radio, just like always. Just
Yeah, I'm here.
I swear you live on that thing.
Yeah. Yes, I do live on that radio.
It sounds like he's talking to a long lost lover. Yeah, I do. That's a little TMI there, Chris. Keep that to yourself.
So
I'm a
what's
little
next?
nervous about getting back into it.
Don't be nervous. You'll be
Oh,
fine.
no. You don't spend any time at all on it compared to what I used to.
Hey,
That's what I'm nervous about.
Oh, the ham radio?
Yeah, I used to speak internationally to about 40 or 50 dozen other highway engineers.
Yeah.
And I already told 5 of them I'm getting back into it. Oh, well, tell the guys. Oh, jeez. Be sure to give us your handle. No, I want to do that.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to hang up tonight, guys. So we'll catch you later.
Well,
Good night. Good luck. May your God
Night.
go with you.
Okay,
be safe.
Later.
bye bye.
So for next show, if everybody could watch some sci-fi shows and give your opinion on the shows. Oh, Doctor Who has a bunch of episodes on Disney Plus right now for the newest Doctor, and it is actually pretty interesting. The fact that there is now 4 or 5 Time Lords alive, mainly because 2 of the Time Lords split.
4 or 5
Yeah.
Time Lords. That's wow.
Well, there's 2
Interesting.
female Time Lords.
Right.
There is, I believe, number 10 is still around, and number 10 spawned the newest Time Lord. They split, so there's 4 going on right now. And I haven't seen the next episode, but they were trying to pull out a Time Lord from the past that will be 5. I believe Vampire Omega was the first Time Lord or something.
Yeah, the first Time Lord of all, the greatest Time Lord
Was Omega.
Yeah, Omega. Yeah,
They're trying to pull back Omega.
yeah. He's one of the mad ones, one of the mad Time Lords.
Yep.
To say, God's the Alpha and the Omega.
So, like I said, Doctor Who has gotten a little bit more interesting with the thing, because if you watch last year's episodes, a lot of those episodes were being done by the person that turned into the Time Lord,
Okay.
the female.
I do have a question for Mark.
Yes, sir.
Your tablet. Do you have an actual keyboard, or do you use the keyboard on the screen?
Since I have an Acer Chromebook, I do have a real keyboard.
Okay. Well,
So it's not a
is
tablet, it's a
Chromebook.
Chromebook.
It's not a tablet.
Yeah, it's a Chromebook. Now, the
Okay.
tablet died a long time ago. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Going good, going good.
He's causing trouble as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. J.R.
He's gonna
Porter is
be ready
moving
to
into John's neighborhood. You have been warned.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, he's going to be my ham radio coach.
Cool.
That way, if I fail the first test ever in ham radio, I can blame him.
There you go.
Works for me.
Hey, dude, I remember when you had to remember Morse code, both American and international. You had to.
Well, you don't have to use Morse code for the test, so you'll be fine.
I was looking at it and I'm like, oh man, a whole bunch of this you don't have to remember right away for the test.
Dash dash.
Yeah, that's how I save our ship. Unless you're religious, then it saved our soul.
Unless you're sarcastic, then it's shit on a shingle.
Hi, Navy favorite.
Hey. Best SOS I ever had was at Fort Campbell. That's an Army base. Let's not talk about it.
Uh-huh. Yep.
The next day, Cookie got
worldwide.
Cookie
In
got
a good way, guys.
he used ham and pepper gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Creamed ham on toast. That's what he called it.
Yep.
I called
I
it.
tell you what,
good.
if your taste buds don't light up to that, you better get them checked by the doctor real quick.
That's not the light up you had to worry about.
No. Well, that's true too. That part comes later.
About 3 hours after you ate it.
Whew.
Forget cherry bomb. That's firebomb. It just goes straight. Yeah.
Remember the campfire scene? Remember the campfire scene from Blazing Saddles?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't light a match.
Except in this case, it's everybody faces the fire.
Oh golly.
So
Anyway, that's still one of my all-time favorite movies.
There is a sci-fi group I follow. Next week, I'm going to have it posted in the website for the broadcast group.
Mm-hmm.
They have been bringing up 40s, 50s, and 60s sci-fi, including the old little shot screens from the Second World War that went in after the news.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And it's really interesting to see some of them and they go, did you know this one was done by Disney? Before there was Disney?
Well, Disney predated a lot of stuff. Little movie. The animators were involved with a part of it, a little thing called Forbidden Planet.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of set the bar for future movies. Holy cow. Yeah. It was on it was actually on the Turner Classic Movie Network yesterday.
Yep.
I never get tired of seeing that movie. Holy cow, they did a great job with that.
That in the original War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original was real good.
Mm-hmm.
and the original thing.
Actually, the original radio broadcast was best.
You do okay.
Oh,
I
Howard
found
Hawks?
out
Oh, yeah.
They made the original thing.
that.
They made the original thing. They made the 82 thing, and then they did another version of it.
Yeah. Well, Stan Winston. There you go.
Well, the
Now-
Blob was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
What else? What famous movie in the horror genre was done for a song in Pittsburgh? I'll give you a line from it. If I'll give you a minute to try to figure out what movie it was. This was an effort by a guy that did commercials for a tire company.
You got me stumped.
Who?
I said, you got me stumped.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Oh.
It was a guy who
I
cast.
don't have any fava beans. I don't have any fava beans.
Nope, that came later. Guy by the name of Romero.
Oh, George Romero.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can blame him for the zombies. Night of the Living Dead.
That was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yep, and there were a lot of locals in that thing. And by the way, the scene where it looks like they're eating the guy,
Mm-hmm.
that really was meat from a local butcher shop. They had a barbecue, and they were. I wanted to be an extra on that movie.
You want
free barbecue, man. Yo,
you want a good
But you're
laugh?
old enough.
yeah.
You want a good laugh? He owned the town I was from. The college in that town is run by him, George Romero's, for all his special effects stuff.
Yeah, he set up a foundation, and
I got to meet him a few times.
I wish I had. I did meet Judith O'Shea a couple years ago at Spooky. Yeah, Barbara. Super nice little lady.
And you know what he does a tour every year when he comes to Still City Con in Monroeville, PA, of the filming sites for that movie. And he said the only thing I regret is when I had to dive off the top floor of the mall and try to hit the mark in the fountain, and I missed it.
Oops.
Oh, yeah, he said it hurt like a son of a bitch.
I can imagine. Yeah, you can't cheat physics. Law of gravity will not be denied. But
So,
yeah, a lot of the fun movies were shot in PA.
oh yeah, they're actually shooting one right now. It's going to be a documentary, a docu-movie about Milton Hershey.
There you go,
Yeah,
Chris.
that's going to be cool.
Nice. He got a Chinese piece of junk.
Yay!
Uh-huh.
Hacho and China.
To reinitiate myself, and for two for $21.
Yeah, well, I got about six or seven of those sitting in a go box.
You know, my old equipment, 2 portables, 1 base, was over $7,000. I know the radios are different.
Oh, I believe it. Now you can pick them up for a $20 bill almost.
My base had a factory installed commercial frequency count.
Oof. Wow.
I could pick any frequency up to the 4th decibel.
Nice.
I bet you did. I bet you can't guess how much that license cost for 5 years.
Over $100.
Over 3.
Oh, I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not counting the $100 add-on for the international.
Well, it's been quite an interesting show.
You were not just given a call sign, you were given a channel frequency.
Wow. So what I miss?
A clue.
Well, I haven't really heard anything back except for crummy customer service for creation entertainment.
I think creation has been our only wall.
Yeah, and
everybody else has
there's a reason that people that they left Orlando last time. They left under, it was 30 years ago. They left under a cloud.
Yeah, but everybody else has been.
The county was not happy with them, so they must have paid their bills finally.
Everybody else has not only been amendable to talk to us, but they've actually reached out in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So we have. We're going to have to start keeping a listing of all of our contacts.
Right. Forward. Sounds good. Hey, Sean.
He's back.
So I'm going to hit you up with my big 4. Mark, you send me your chief 4. This way, if there's any boo-boos in either direction, we can swing back and hit it from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
And we may want to put our heads together and come up with an introductory email that explains who we are, what we are.
Yeah, believe me, I did that chapter and verse with these people, and they were just
yours was almost biblical the way you did it. I loved it. And
yeah. I mean, I made it so even a layman could understand it, and it was like I honest to God, I don't think I was dealing with an actual person.
I don't think you were dealing with anyone who graduated from primary.
No, I think it just well, I can give you a quick example. Ready?
Yeah.
Don't blink, you'll miss it. That includes you, Chris. Don't blink. Ready? Pew! You want to see that again?
No, I remember.
It literally went from impulse to warp 10.
He sent an email. He sent an email that anyone who has met my daughter knows reading things and comprehending from the printed word is not really there. She got it first run through. These people didn't understand a word he was saying.
My opinion right now is the people that are running it, that is, I'm talking about the co-owners or whatever the hell they're calling themselves.
Well, they either need a new processor.
They're out of touch. And they've got a bunch of morons surrounding them. And
they either need a new processor for their AI. Or they need to at least go to a high school to hire people. I'm not sure
Hey, there's some kids, there's some preteens across the street that are gamers that have more brains than these people.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Don't go to the high school that Elon goes to, okay? Just
See, Mark did an email. I did an email and got the exact same hoopla hopla runaround that basically said they're not even paying attention.
No, they're not.
In, they're opening it and returning just a bulk letter because I got the read-write receipt and I'm like, well, somebody read it.
Yeah, there's some guy named Ryan. I have no idea who the hell Ryan is. Because
he's hiding. That's who he is.
He could have been just some random guy off the street. I have no idea. No last name.
Hired for the bachelorette party.
Who the hell's Ryan?
There's not even a poor attempt at actual communication. Anyone else that I've reached out to, I've gotten a set of dates. We'll be back in office. We can further discuss how we're going to lay your area out and how many tables you're going to be able to have, all that kind of stuff. They're very specific. This one, it's basically like listening to someone else we both know. Well, if you can hand me $5,000, I'll do whatever you want.
Let me think about that. No.
I got a better idea. If you pay me 10, I'll give you 5 of it back.
Yeah, there you go.
Take it out of the 30,000 work that we did in the past 4 years.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Sean. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have to stick with those that we know are willing to at least pay attention. And we need to work going forward to get into bigger and better.
Yeah. Which
reminds me, I've sent off 5 that I got to get you the email addresses to, Mark. 2 are in Miami. 1 is in Fort Lauderdale. And the other one's in the other 2, one's in Tampa, one's in Orlando.
Yeah, I wish Phantasm and Villicon were still doing their thing, but Villicon they got burned, and Phantasm just, I don't know. I don't know what happened with them. It's like I don't think he had enough of a backup.
Out with the old and in with the Chinese. We're good.
Nothing. Where are the minions when you need them?
Oh, saw them at Walmart. They're about this tall.
Yep. Hey, I'd take them.
Yeah,
Hey. Leave the staff alone. They're not that small.
No, they were at the cash register. They up there in the little baggies. You had to pick them up. And down below was another little baggie full of little Hogwarts people that big.
Yeah.
You mean those little people?
Talk about making money.
Yes. It's
Them
the
like
little.
Did you?
Sure it is.
Hey,
No
Drew,
public rules.
Joyce guys. Anyway, we were like, cool. But we have to start thinking outside the box for these things.
Mm-hmm.
I've also discovered that some of these stores that do models, comic books, yada, have no issue with them, us coming in for a day.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, is all three groups, including little stores like Barnes and Noble and Books A Million. All they ask is that we keep the in-place membership down to 2.
Huh?
They don't
2
want to
people?
flash up in the store.
The ones at the table, only 2, and have anyone else and just T-shirts, not full costumes, going through and explaining who we are, what we do, and helping people find books, which gets marked down as a service. Ding, ding. 2 birds, 1 stone. And it's not like any of us are incapable of that. I mean, okay, Chris isn't picking up the top of the shelf because his wheelchair puts his head about right here.
hey, did
Yeah,
you?
Drew.
Well, technically, Books A Million's shelves are only this tall.
Woohoo! Good one. Good return.
Said with much love and a whole lot of antibiotics for the infection. No worries.
Yep. Yeah, you're smiling. You must be taking the good stuff again.
Not yet, but it's over there.
Hey, Drew,
Sir,
did you mention what we talked about? PlayCon?
not tonight.
Okay. I didn't know if
This show will not be really affiliated with one particular group. It's kind of everybody.
Yeah.
Because Sean and I were talking about it, and we're affiliated 7 groups right now. We cover everything almost. I think
The only
Land
thing that
Before
stops
Time
me-
is the only one we haven't hit yet.
Yeah, Drew, go ahead and shoot me those emails, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Actually, these would just be secondary contacts to say, hey, we understand that we've gotten to you and you may have been out of the office. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no problem.
But they responded within 4 hours. So
Yeah,
they're looking and they're reading because they were very specific as to why they couldn't respond completely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one more thing I'll mention about, creation. Yeah, when I dealt with them last time, when they said they'd get right back to me, that was 10 days ago. Yeah.
They
got back-
lost your email.
I got a hold of them today. They got back to me in 2 hours, and you already know that answer. And it's like, mine is hell to the no. I'm not going to stop people from going. I mean, if they want to go to this thing, it's only a 2-day event. That's the stupidity of this whole thing.
Right. Well,
It's like people are going to figure it out because I already got wind of what some of the prices are going to be for those autographs, and it's like, you have got to be kidding. They're trying to charge the Hollywood prices for these things.
well,
Yeah, they're going to
performers
find
start
out real
guest,
quick people are not going to pay that.
the performers, stars, guests, whatever you want to call them, usually only get 15. Anything over 15, that's going back to the ones putting it on.
Yeah, and guess what? Do you know what a vendor table is, just for laughs?
About 300, isn't it?
7. Yeah, I want to know where they pulled that out of.
Wow.
Yeah, they're charging West Coast prices.
I think that's one of the people that have had an endoscope at Sean. I'm telling you, because they were pulling big numbers out.
Yeah, that's the show that's the TV show you never want to be on.
Not you, the other Sean.
I know who you're talking about. We have been going on for an hour and a half.
Yep.
Yeah. You keep following us.
You did make some progress. I'll try to get a hold of Mike tomorrow. Hopefully, he finally cleared out his voicemail.
Who?
Mike.
I was going to try and get a hold of Mike tomorrow to see, see if he got.
Tomorrow afternoon, he will be here.
Okay. Then you can find out whether he's got.
You have to get a hold of me.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of you. It's a lot easier than trying to get a hold of Mike.
I can reach it.
You got to clear out his voicemail, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to implode if it hasn't. Okay.
All in all, we've been to an awful lot. Now we're trying to fix filter cards. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, you guys don't have to worry about the chair. I'll still have the chair, and it will be
Yeah, but
there.
we want to get it from the event to Mike's house because he's in the middle.
Well, he's right here in Point Siena with me. So,
And if somebody right across the street from him or close can come and get it and take it wherever, if my truck's not being used, that's a plus.
Well, we've actually got a friend who is actually getting his ASC certification, and he's coming to do a full service and whatever, and replace some sensors and stuff on the Dodge. It'll be up and running again.
I've got 3 people helping me to custom make 2 wide and 1 narrow backgrounds to do a Klingon bridge between my 2 10-foot high sets, my racks.
Okay.
So we can put them together and do a Klingon bridge between them.
Yeah, that would be a good.
And you can put the chair in front of it.
The chair in there, it'll be a nice photo opportunity. I'll bring the folding rack and the cloaks and stuff. You know,
that's a few off, but I just want you to know I'm not sitting still. We've got, well, Mark,
Okay.
I've got a full plate and then a few extras.
Yep, understood.
This is for the future. I'm pretty sure I'll have them done before Syfy Bartow.
Alrighty.
Whether or not my chair will be done, I do not know.
Well,
but if your chair is sitting at Mike's, we use my truck at Syfy Bartow. That means we can pick it up.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yippee skippy.
So for the next show, everybody throughout the next 2 weeks, look at sci-fi shows that you're watching and let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion on different sci-fi shows.
Or
Absolutely.
books.
Sounds like fun.
Or books or comic books. Something to do with science fiction that's been around for a while.
Yeah, just a while. Some guy named Byrne. Some guy named Wells.
So from Drew and Sean, Mark and Chris, thanks for joining us, and Live long and prosper.